Hey guys, this is Staliefty with Closeo. Let's do some SaaS startup game plan analysis. I want to share a case study with you. So I'm currently traveling in Europe, spending some time with family actually. But whenever I get a chance, I sneak in a tiny meeting with another startup or a SaaS founder, try to learn what they're doing, what's working, what's not working, the unique challenges in Europe, as well as sharing some of my own perspectives and advice in order to help them to succeed more. Yesterday, I was on a walk in a beautiful forest in Germany with some SaaS founders, and they were actually describing to me what their application did, which was pretty cool. They were describing to me that they had 100 business in their alpha that had signed up for the product, and they were describing to me their game plan to take over the world, their marketing and sales plan, their distribution strategy, PR, viral campaigns, all kinds of stuff to increase the funnel and dramatically increase the number of organizations that are signing up. And the flip side, they described to me all the things that they felt like they needed to improve on the product side to make the product even better and get to product market fit. So they were describing their situation, their plans moving forward from a very superficial point of view, if you ask me. Because when I asked them at the core of the question, which is, hey, out of the 100 companies that are using your product, how many of those are actually actively engaged and think they're getting tremendous value out of it? And they were like mumbling in front of them and saying, yeah, I mean, we have some, but most of them need more help to get value out of it. But when we have this, and eventually I stopped and I was like, hey, this question is actually pretty simple. Who's your most successful user today? And they're like, well, And they had told me that they need a company, when they sign up, they need them to import at least 300 of their contacts in order to actually start getting real value out of the application. So I was like, okay, cool. What's your number one customer? How many contacts did they import or did they actively engage with in your application? They're like, well, this and that. I'm like, it's a number, dude. Just give me a number. What's the number? Well, 30. So a tenth of what they think a customer would need to actually be successful. I was like, wow, 30. So what's the second most successful user that you have right now? The second most successful user only has 5. So it's a joke. They might have 100 companies that have signed up for the SaaS application, but none of them are getting any value out of it. And I told them, you know what? Before spending any time planning how to take over the world through marketing and sales, and before investing any more time in adding features and functionalities, your core issue is that you need at least 10 customers that are fully engaged and are generating value and getting value out of your application every single day. That's the next milestone you need to focus on. Forget about PR and marketing, forget about sales and distribution, forget about features and functionalities. You need 10 companies that validate that what you do actually really drives value. And one of those founders told me, well, if by the end of the year we have 1,000 companies that have signed up for our platform, do you think that would solve the issue? And if those thousands didn't just sign up but actually are paying? And I said no. And he asked me, why? I mean, Stelly, if we get 1,000 companies to want to pay us money for a solution, doesn't that validate that our product is real promise? Doesn't that mean that we have arrived at the promised land of product market fit? No, it does not. Because there's two distinct ways that you need to sell customers. One, as the very first step, you need to sell customers on the idea that your product will deliver real value. That's the first step. But once you sold them on the idea that your product will deliver value and they buy and purchase, now as a second step, you have to resell them every single month that they've actually received more value from your product than what they had to pay for. That part of selling never ends because it actually doesn't matter that much if or if not your product really truly delivers that value. What matters even a little bit more than that is if the customer perceives that they are getting value out of it. If they don't think they get value out of it, and if they don't think they get more value out of it than what they had to pay for it, they will cancel. So what I told those two SaaS founders was that it's not enough for you to get 1,000 companies sold on the idea that you can give them value. You have to prove that you can actually give them value and more value than they think they had to pay for your product. You have to have customers that have paid on month 1 and then repaid on month 2 and repaid on month 3. And when you survey them or when you call them up or show up at their business, they tell you, dude, your product is awesome. We're getting tons and tons of value out of it. If you can't get there, you're not at product market fit yet. And you don't have to spend any time, money, or resources on marketing or on product development. You have to go out and figure out why and how to get there. And for those two guys, their only goal needs to be to get 10 customers that they can sell both on the idea of paying for the product because they think they're going to deliver that value and perceive that value, but also they need to sell them that they actually received that value. They have to have 10 customers that's been around at least for 3 months and thought, this is an awesome idea, I want to purchase, and then, oh my God, this is in reality truly valuable to my business. Only when they get to that point does it even make sense to think about how to make the product even better and how to scale your marketing and sales efforts. So I hope that quick game plan analysis and case study, whatever you want to call it, that conversation that I had on a beautiful walk in a rainy forest in Germany is going to benefit some other SaaS founders out there. If you're in the very early stages and you have some users or beta customers or something, don't just think that because somebody's paying you, you've already got to product market fit and now it's all about growth. You have to have 10 customers at least that you sold on both steps. Number 1, you sold them to purchase your product, and number 2, you actually sold them on month 1 and month 2, month 3, that they actually received all the value and that your product actually delivers more value to them than what it costs them to keep using your service. All right, I hope that you take that insight and you use it to grow your business and make it more successful.